To the Webby O'Neill channel, plenty of Manchester United news to get into today, including Erik Ten Hag on Jadon Sancho and David Ornstein's report on Leny Yoro. So make sure you get involved in the chat and we'll try and discuss some of your comments throughout today's video. First of all, how are you doing?
I'm all right. You all right?
I'm absolutely sound. How are you?
Nose all right?
Yeah, the nose is actually all right, yeah. No problems at all. Getting the stitches took out on Thursday. I bet you wouldn't have guessed it's actually on my nose. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to that.
He's all right. He's still whinging, but I'll cope. Right.
I'm never whinging. But first of all, Jadon Sancho and Erik Ten Hag says that Manchester United need good players and that Jadon Sancho is a good player. So your first reactions to this?
Well, my first reaction is, soon as I seen this, I looked around and many Manchester United fans are very, very disappointed at this. But in the same breath, a lot of them are not surprised by this. They can clearly see that Ashworth and Ineos have all sat down with Erik Ten Hag and said, we need to resolve this, and it's a money thing. That's how many people out there are seeing this, and that is a big asset. A lot of money. Is worth a lot of money. We signed him, right, but they want to get some money in for him. So the best thing to do is do a nice PR job, and that's how people are seeing this. So they're not surprised. They're disappointed by it, but at the end of the day, I look at this and I don't see in any way, shape or form this working, because if they don't get rid of him by the time of the window closing, then all I can see is carnage coming along, because as far as I'm concerned, and many Manchester United fans out there, Sancho does not want to be here.
So is it something that we'd just expect, let's be honest, of a manager to come out and basically say that the player's got a future, he's a good player, just to try and keep some sort of resale value? Because if they come out and say anything to the contrary, you know, clubs will be going, well, hang on a minute, you don't want him, you publicly stated that, so let's start going with a baseline fee of, let's say, £15 million, £20 million, instead of probably the 40 million that Man United will probably want.
Listen, it's a simple, whatever the figures are, 15, 20, 25 million, they want to put a price on him. They can't see anyone coming in for him. So they're looking as if to say, hey, he's a good player. We'll have him here in pre-season. We'll throw him out in the games. He'll work hard. He wants to go. Okay, United want to get rid of him and there's no one coming in. So let's work him over the pre-season, right? And let's get a value out of him. Just get him off the books. It's not going to work. I mean, many comments out there. One comment out there I've seen there, he's going to be hanging around like a bad smell. And I can't disagree with that. I just cannot disagree with that. There is nothing in this player, what I've seen playing for Manchester United, what makes him a good player, okay? Is he a decent player? I mean, that's up for debate. At the end of the day, he's had plenty of chances at Manchester United, and I've not seen it, and many of Manchester United fans there haven't seen it. So it comes down to, hang on, let's get some money in for him. There's been a big mistake, but a big fallout with Erik Ten Hag. So let's smooth that over. And this is exactly what this is by Erik Ten Hag. We've drawn the line, he says, and we move on. I don't think they've drawn the line.
Yeah, maybe in the back of his head, you've got to try and put yourself in his shoes. And maybe the club as well, in what they actually done for Jadon Sancho as well in that season, sending him over to Holland to get physically and mentally right, come back. And like I've stated before, you know, the smile and the kind of joy Erik Ten Hag had on the sidelines when he brought him on that night as a substitute in the Carabao Cup. You know, it was as though like it was you with me, as always his dad and his son. Not that you smile too much with me, as I can look at you right now, but yeah, for me, I think we've done as much as we can for Jadon Sancho, and I just don't think that actual relationship can be properly repaired to what it was at one point. So for me, I do expect Man United to still trying to get rid of Jadon Sancho this summer, and even Ten Hag himself, and you've all heard it out there, he says good is not good enough, and he says Jadon Sancho is a good player. So for Man United, for us going forward, yeah, good players might be in the squad, in and around there, as bench players, etc. But in this first team, you know, in the next 3 years, we want to have top quality in the starting 11 in every single position, surely.
We want quality players. He's not a quality player. It's clear to see to everyone. And United have bent over backwards for Jadon Sancho. And I don't think there's anything else what can be done. This hasn't been smoothed over. This is just a compromise, right? And both sides know it. Jadon Sancho knows it and his team, and Manchester United know it. So let's get a compromise. And this is the bad way to get over it and try and move on. And at the same time, any inquiries, and obviously we all know Jadon Sancho's affiliation to Dortmund and how Dortmund sort of they like him, but they don't like him that much to come up and pay 20, 25 million at this moment in time. But that might change. So hopefully it does change. I just don't see it working going forward. And I can't see Erik ten Hag putting the faith, and we know the pressure Erik ten Hag's under. He's under massive pressure going forward, that he could really rely on this player, right, to do him the world of good. I just don't see it at all. And many, many United fans out there don't see it as well. I think they just see this as a compromise for now. It's not something Erik ten Hag's going to take along and use Jadon Sancho as a focal point for Man United. And I look at something as well. You look at that position, what he plays, Ahmad and Palestra, they're going to look at this and go, do you know what? I'm coming back into this pre-season and I'm going to show you, Jadon Sancho, I'm better than you. And that really should put us in good stead.
Yeah, but he should be looking at it from the other point of view. You've got Ahmad, Palestra and Anthony as well.
Yeah.
Jadon Sancho should be looking at this himself and thinking, I'm better than you three. I want to knuckle down here now at Man United. Whatever's gone on in the past, as a person, as a professional footballer, I want to play for Manchester United. He's still a young lad.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to knuckle down. I'm going to try and force my way into this team through my actual training day to day.
Yeah,
because that was the big problem. What Erik ten Hag come up with in that press conference, that it was his lack of motivation in training.
Yeah, but which then shown on the pitch, because you'd not seen performances on the pitch. And many people out there have said for a long time, and I've said it for a long time, Jadon Sancho, right, his work ethic isn't there, and it's not going to change. It's just not going to change. That's how I see it. And if he makes me look an idiot by turning up star performances, great, because he's in a Man United shirt and he's on the pitch. But I have no faith in Jadon Sancho. Nothing shows me over the period of time since he come here that I've got any faith in him. And I'm sure Erik ten Hag has done absolutely loads of things for Sancho, more than any other player, okay? And he's not repaid him, okay? They fell out, and there's a reason why they fell out. And I don't think it's just one thing, okay? But Erik ten Hag, I do not believe he's putting faith in him, right, to keep him in a job, to help him stay in a job and improve Manchester United going forward. I just don't think the work ethic is in Jadon Sancho, and many other United fans agree with me. They're disappointed, but like I said, they're not surprised at what's going on. This is just pure out-and-out PR tactics, and the longer he stays, the more that smell will hang around. That's how people see it, yeah, and I can't disagree with him.
The thing is with Erik ten Hag as well, he's done similar in the past as well, and we've seen players leave like Ronaldo, De Gea, come out publicly and still praised him, do you know what I mean? And they've ended up leaving the club. Harry Maguire, when he lost the captaincy, said he's still got a huge part to play in this Manchester United squad, and fair play to Harry Maguire, he still kept at it, and he played a lot of games last season when needed, and he filled in and done a good job in some of the games. But with Sancho there, I think that Dortmund move, it's off the cards. I think recently they've just handed the number 10 shirt that he had to Julian Brandt. And like I said before, surely he's got to be looking at, because Anthony ain't pulled up trees. Ahmad I really like. I think he should be the first choice for that right wing start at the start of the season. I really want to see him start more games. But he should be looking at this and thinking, this has got to be the easiest chance I've had since I've been at Man United to actually start some games, because of the performances that we've seen last season on that right-hand side from players. I know Garnacho filled in on the right, Rashford filled in on the right, but come on, Jadon, you know, you've got to pull your finger out your backside here and start getting to grips with training, knuckling down and just concentrating and thinking, I've got the opportunity here to play for Manchester United.
He doesn't want to play for Man United. He has not put the effort in. He's not put the work rate in, okay? He's had the opportunities. He signed for Man United, played on the right, played on the left. He's played in different positions, but he was picked. The opportunities were there. He's an expensive buy. Ridiculous that he's not been given the chances. He's been given more chances than anyone, and it is down to him.
It does feel like...
And his work ethic.
Yeah.
He's not prepared to work. We've heard the story. We've all heard the stories, okay? He's being chaperoned around, people making sure that he gets up and he turns up on time and all that, okay? It's him, himself. Unfortunately, that's his personality. That's the way he is. And that's just not good enough for Man United. Look, I go back in time. I thought we was going to change with players. Ineos come in, be ruthless. You've seen what they've done here at Manchester United. You know, they're getting rid of staff. They're getting rid of players. They're doing things, okay, what should have been done years ago. And if you go back to people like Pogba, okay, I didn't rate Pogba, okay? I didn't like him, didn't like his attitude. He was here. I think he just wasted quite a few years at Manchester United. And then you look...
To be honest with you, Pogba, I've got to step in there. I think that lad had absolute unbelievable potential.
So, same as Sancho. Same as Sancho.
I'm not disagreeing on that fact, but he had huge potential, Pogba. I mean, some of the things that he did do with the football here in a Man United shirt were like, wow. But he's just never done it on a consistent basis. Not just like game by game. I mean, throughout a 90 minutes.
Because of his attitude.
Well, I don't know, because I didn't see him day by day in training and that. But there was obviously something wrong, because you never seen anything consistent unless he put on a France shirt. But with Jadon Sancho, you just get that feeling like he's pointing the finger at everyone else, and it's everyone else's fault why he's in the position that he's in. And, you know, you just like to think, like, even the lads who are around him, the advisors, the team, you know, just get in his ear and say, look, the opportunity is there for you. It's there for you. You're not going to get a bigger opportunity if you move away from Manchester United, because if he moves away from United, where's he realistically going to go? It's only a downhill slope. He's not going to get a bigger club, a bigger contract.
I get what you're saying, okay, right? But how much time do you waste? Are you telling me and people out there, right, that his advisors and everyone else 18 months ago, 12 months ago didn't speak to him?
You'd have hoped so. You'd have hoped so.
We know they did. We know they did. We know United did it because they looked after him. They sent him away. They helped him. Everything in his ear has been said, okay, and he's not reacted, okay? That's how a lot of people out there look at it. That's how I look at it, and I just don't see it working at all. No, I think this is just a plan, right, to get him out there in the summer, okay, to sort of like integrate him into the squad, into training, because they're all coming back soon, and then get him out on the pitch in pre-season, and then hopefully get him in the shop window and someone does come in and put a bid in for him and take him away. That's all I see, because I cannot see in the life of me Erik ten Hag relying on this player up to perform on a regular basis on the pitch, especially when he's done everything possible to look after Jadon Sancho, even sending him away and getting him whatever was needed, and I'm sure all the talking. So this, to me, right, is just a typical PR, and it's all about money.
No, I do agree with that. In what you've seen over the last couple of years with Sancho, nothing points to anything where you can be motivated or positive with start of the season. He's going to go again and he's going to hit the ground running at Manchester United if he was given the opportunity. I totally agree. But I don't think this story is going to stop. I think we're going to hear more and more over the summer with Jadon Sancho. But just to think there, do you think it's off the table that maybe Jason Wilcox, Dan Ashworth or anyone else inside Manchester United have actually said to Ten Hag, look, this player's an asset of X amount of money. He's on these wages. You're going to have to use him and get the best out of him for next season, because you can't go out there and dip into the transfer market to get a right-sided player this summer. So you're going to have to use him.
No, I think it's a compromise. I think they understand the situation with Jadon Sancho himself. I think they understand the argument and the problems what have gone on, and this is the best way to deal with it and put out a bit of PR and try and integrate him back into the squad and get him out there and try and move him on at the first possible, well, the first availability. Let's move him on, but let's put an area around, a noise around it, as though like we're all in sync and we're all working for the same thing. And listen, he's out there. He's a good player. We need him. I need him. And that's what they've done. But the reality is, we all know the truth. Jadon Sancho has not put it in, and it was his choice. And I'm making no excuses for Jadon Sancho, okay? It's all his fault. And I think United will get rid of him at the first opportunity, and I think they should. And lots of yous out there think the same.
So you don't think it's a problem that if or whenever Jadon Sancho does start pre-season in games, and he does hit the ground running, albeit in pre-season, starts playing well, putting in decent performances, maybe getting on the score sheet, assists, then it's not a problem of, well, hang on a minute, maybe we should keep him, give him that opportunity next season under a new regime like Ineos with Ratcliffe, etc.
No, decision's been made as far as I'm concerned. It's been made in my eyes that this player will let you down. Okay, it just seems to be that this is his personality. He's here 1 minute and then you don't see him for a while on the pitch. That's how he is. He is not a consistent player. Doesn't matter what he does in the pre-season, okay? He's not a world beater in pre-season. Pre-season is pre-season, and the main thing about pre-season is getting fit. And that's what Jadon Sancho needs to do, and then just show off his skills, and hopefully someone comes in, and that's it.
Yeah, no, totally agree. Hopefully in the pre-season he does hit the ground running, does perform, and maybe we might start getting some other clubs looking to buy him. But like we said earlier on, I don't think it's the last we've heard of any stories surrounding Sancho. Moving on to Leny Yoro, and David Ornstein this morning was talking about Yoro, and he's basically saying that he's the priority centre-back over Matthias de Ligt. Now, your thoughts on that?
Well, it looks that way. The fee's agreed with the club. It's just Yoro himself needs to commit himself to either Manchester United, and the soundings are that it's Real Madrid. But the fee, what United, it's agreed. So time's running out for him here, because at the end of the day, de Ligt is there. Everything seems to be sorted out with de Ligt and his personal terms and everything. And United just seems to be holding back. But Yoro seems to be, especially from that article there from Ornstein, the way he's talking and the way things are going, to be honest with you, because de Ligt, really, they should have been able to pounce. So Yoro, to me, I agree with the article. Yoro is the #1 target. There might be a good game being played here between it all, because if you look at Branthwaite, 2 bids gone in, Yoro's there, fees agreed, then you've got de Ligt. So at the end of the day, I think Yoro I think it's the chairman and that he's pushing Yoro to take United, because United are paying a good fee for him. So at the end of the day, I think in the next couple of days he has to make that. There's no more messing about it. You've got to make the decision.
Yeah, of course. It's a decision that needs making soon as possible, so we can move on as a football club in getting the centre back in that we desperately need, in my opinion. And
I think it's clever by United.
Don't get me wrong. For me personally, I just want 1 or 2 centre backs in of quality this summer. It's very much needed in the starting 11. Never mind the squad. So, have you got a preference yourself over? Would you rather have Yoro or de Ligt? Let me know out there. There's a lot more people with a wider knowledge of me, of the players out there in Europe, but let me know.
I've got to base it on de Ligt. I think it's 24, the clubs he's played for and that. So there's a lot of form there to go on. So I'm going on form and how I see de Ligt. Yoro, 18, decent player as far as I'm concerned, and a lot of people out there. But de Ligt, I'm going on like where he's been. It's been 3 big clubs, do you know what I mean? So I'm going on that. At this moment, it's de Ligt. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to knock Yoro if he comes instead of de Ligt. But I still think there that United are playing a really good game here, because they've identified and there's agreements in place for all 3 players. So if Yoro does drop down, I think United will just jump straight in.
Yoro, and there's no agreement with Branthwaite?
No, there's personal agreements. There's agreements in different ways. Okay. There's agreements in personal terms and that, and it's just about a fee. Yeah. So I think they've played it well, that they have lined up 3 potentials, and there's just a little bit of ironing out to be done. Okay, in Yoro's case, it's just, will he come? Is he going to agree? In Branthwaite's case, it's just a fee. And de Ligt, we know the dealings there. So at the end of the day, United played a good game. They have got 3 centre-halves, and I've always said we want 2 centre-halves. I don't think United and many other people out there don't think they're going to go for 2. They're just going to go for 1. So at the end of the day, I think in the next couple of days, we'll see a move for a centre-half. And it's now just waiting for Yoro to see if he wants to come to United. And if he doesn't want to come, it'll either be de Ligt or it'll either be Branthwaite, because the United then will have to up the bid, because we need a centre-half.
Yeah, well, with Yoro and de Ligt, they both play on the right-hand side of defence, so it's either going to be one of them who they do purchase for that right side of defence, and would they still then go out and get Branthwaite as like backup to Lisandro Martinez, you know, for me that'd be great. That to add them into the squad. But then you've still got the likes of Lindelof, Maguire there. Are they still going to be in a Man United shirt next season? Which I highly doubt both of them would be in if we was to go out and get 2 centre backs.
Well,
especially if we've lost Willy Cambuala as well as like a backup.
Well, you have to really look at what's gone on here. Cambuala's gone, Varane's gone, okay, but Maguire and Lindelof are surplus to requirements, okay. Age, injuries, everything about them sort of like says they are surplus to requirements. Yeah. So the preference is 2 centre halves. We've lost 2, right? And possibly Maguire or Lindelof. There's talk today about Lindelof possibly going, they put him up for sale or something. So at the end of the day, I think 2 is the priority. And don't be surprised if United surprise us by getting 2.
I mean, I'd be happy going into the season having Yoro, Martinez, Branthwaite and Johnny Evans. You know, if you look at it like that, as your 4 centre-backs going into the new season.
Yeah.
Would you be happy with that?
I'd be happy with that, but I think Maguire will be staying.
Yeah, of course, Maguire's there, but, you know, if you have the first 4 choices, me personally, I don't... Yeah,
you have to have at least 4 centre-halves, minimum 4. You've got to have 4.
No, I know that, but you've then obviously got, like, Maguire there, and I'm just thinking back to last season. You know, he did put in some good performances, to be fair to him. So would you put Maguire ahead of... actually Johnny Evans? You know, let me know out there. You'd prefer to give that chance to...
I'd actually put Lindelof ahead of Maguire. How's that for you?
Let me know.
I think Lindelof slots straight in. I don't think he gets carried away. I think he does a reasonable, good job. Whereas Maguire, I watch him play, and sometimes I just think to myself, where are you going?
Do you not start smiling though to yourself when he starts doing that? Yeah. Do you not start chuckling though? Because I do sometimes.
I do chuckle. You know, you don't see Lindelof playing on the right wing.
Not all the time though. Sometimes I'm screaming and shouting.
On the left wing. So at the end of the day, we have to have minimum 4. But I think United might surprise us here by the end of the week and commit themselves to 2 centre-halves. Yeah. The opportunity is there, but this Euro, it's all down to him. And I think United are just waiting to strike, to be honest with you.
Yeah, with his decision-making, me personally, you know, if he had to put my hat on it kind of thing, I think he'll choose Real Madrid. I really do. But like you said, the good thing is about Manchester United, it's not like they're just working on one deal and they're just dragging it out all summer. And then if they get a no, they're then struggling and getting things together to then go on to another target. It's like they're speaking to Yoro, De Ligt. You know, they've had the bid in for Branthwaite. Obviously, it's been rejected, but there's movement there around all 3. So that's a positive for me, especially now they're doing negotiations this summer.
It is a positive. Okay, what you can't have, because time's running out. We all know time's running out. In just over 3 weeks, it starts. It starts. Yeah. And what we don't want is players coming in when the season started, right? Because that is just no good for Erik ten Hag and sorting his squad out. I think the reality of this is, okay, you can have your pre-season, you can have your friendlies and all that, okay, right? But all the players need to be in and on that pitch, in that squad for that Charity Shield a week before. Yeah. So really, we've got just over 2 weeks to get everyone in. Well, 2 weeks to get everyone in, right? And ready for that. We have to start like a train, just speeding up down the track, right? For when that season starts. And we can't be looking to fill gaps and running round, chasing round for players because we've been too slow. Can't have that. Ineos said they're here to change things, so they've got to change it. And at this moment in time, having 3 centre-halves lined up tells you they're ready for it. And if there's a midfield player out there, okay, what they're ready to get, I think they'll get him in the next week or 2. They certainly won't wait until that season starts. Let's hope so anyway. Yeah, let's hope so. I'd just like to thank everyone for joining us today, getting involved in the chat, been popping off in there. Loads of different opinions, especially on the centre-half situation, whether you prefer Maguire, Lindelof. Yeah. Do you think Yoro should be the first choice over De Ligt? Plenty to discuss in there, so please get involved in the comments because it's always good seeing what your opinions are. Smash a like on today's video if you want to help support us and you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you again tomorrow with another Manchester United chat. Much appreciated, everyone. Take care, and we'll see you again soon. Thank you. Thank you.